What's up, guys? I want to talk today about, is college degrees even worth it? So I went to, high school, got good grades. I have Asian parents, so I didn't have a choice but to get good grades. And so that's what I did. I got good grades. I graduated high school, valedictorian. I wasn't the top of my class, but I was definitely top 10. And I immediately went into college at the University of Hawaii. So when I had to select my college major, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. But I was told that I was good at math and that I should probably do engineering. So that's what I did. I went into an engineering major and I decided that I like things that fly. So I got a concentration in aerospace. And then I got my degree. And before I even graduated college, actually, I got a really good engineering job. Actually, probably one of the best jobs in engineering that you can get on the island of Hawaii. And it's such a good job. I actually can't say the exact title of it, but it was definitely in engineering, and it paid very, very well. And once I got to, through high school, I was enjoying the kid. College became more of a shift in focus from socializing that you get in high school to focus on work and your work ethic and getting things done. And then I got into the workplace, the industry, the career, and then that's when I realized, like, is this really what I wanted to do for 20 years of my life and then retire after suffering for 20 years? Because not even a year in, I already realized and was able to recognize, like, this is not it. Like, this is not how I want to spend my youth. I was 23, 22 at the time, and got my first apartment. Moved out of my parents' place, and apartments in Hawaii, they're not cheap. I was paying about $3,000 a month just for a two-bedroom apartment. That was back in 2024. It was back in 2024. So I've decided since then to quit that job. Even though it was like well over six figures, put me in a different tax bracket. Bought a bunch of stuff that I wanted when I had the job, and I quit and I moved to Florida to, still have warmth but not pay the cost of living of Hawaii. Now I live in my RV, and I'm actually way happier doing this than I ever was being an engineer. Originally, I got into engineering because I loved creativity. I wanted to do something creative. I wanted to make processes better, things better, like things are so efficient in the world and the way they work, like car engines, for example. You fill up all that gas and you only get 20% yield of gasoline burn. I wanted to make things like that way more efficient. And then I realized that that's not what the world that I live in is built on. So I live in America, and they're built on inefficiency because you can make money off systems and things being inefficient. That's why it takes forever for the DMV to get you a license, or it takes even longer for any government process like getting your passport or fingerprints or anything that you need. It just takes so unholy long when it shouldn't be. It should be easy. And that's when I realized, like, was the college degree even worth it? No, I don't regret it, because engineering, well, a college degree in general, but specifically one in engineering, opens a lot of doors for you. So if I ever want to go back into the industry, I definitely could, easily, very easily. But I don't want to, and that's because once you've tasted life outside of working 9 to 5, well, my hours were actually 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. sometimes, not including traffic. It's just, you realize, like, you're only 20 once, right? You're only in your 20s once, and you should live and experience everything you want to do while you're while you got youth. That was a good statement. But while you're still young, you should definitely enjoy life, because what's the point of, let's say I stayed at the job for 20 years and I get out at 40, but retirement age is actually 59 and a half, so I'd get out somewhere around 60. I'd have all the money now and all the time at that point, but I don't have youth. I don't have motivation or energy to go and do whatever it is that I want to do, explore the world, ride motorcycles across the U.S., which I did to get to Florida, go travel internationally, go to different countries, learn different languages, speak the different languages. That would probably not, a 60-year-old me would not have the lower back for any of that, right? So I decided, while I'm young, and I'm only young once, I'm going to go and live my life and enjoy it. But then I realized, like, there's a whole generation below me, multiple generations below me, growing up, and they're being taught, go to school, get good grades, go to college, get a good job, and that structure just doesn't work anymore. Like, you can get good grades and go to school and get a job, but the job market isn't what it was then. And even then, if you do get a job, salaries, housing, cost of living, it's just not, it's all disproportionate. Back when you could afford to buy a house for a handshake and $1, then life was good. You know, you weren't worried about it. You could feed a whole family of 5 off of one income, and the mom could stay at home and take care of the 3 kids. Now you have 3 or 4 incomes, and you could barely survive just buying groceries and gas. That's not the way to live. And to continue following the broken path that led us to this exact place where people go to school, get a good job, and work for a company for 20 years to build that company's bank account so big that they become corporate greed and want to buy and take over everything and charge astronomical prices for everything else. It's not the future that I want to contribute to, and probably not one that you want to contribute to either. So then it brings me back to the question, are college degrees even worth it at this point? And I want to share that if I could go back and not just redo college, but probably right after high school, I would actually rather invest my time and money putting myself through educational of how to manage money, which they don't teach you in college or school in general, and then how to run a business, how to invest. It's way more important, and you get a larger return on your investment when you can help people in mass scale, right? So, for example, Netflix, huge company, and they help people by taking away their problems with it through entertainment. They reached globally millions, if not billions, of people, and they make the money for it. And to be able to do that instead of going and working 40 hours a week, maybe more, and you don't get paid for the extras, then you don't really help anyone at the end of the day, except for maybe your coworkers and the company itself. Like, it doesn't make sense to me to want to do that or to have to do that. So if I could go back in high school, right after high school, I would have just learned how to manage money, invest, start a business, create a solution to a problem that many people have, and then sell a solution or distribute it. Basically add value to people's lives instead of trying to add value to my own. Value not being money, but when I was trying to add value to my own life, it was in the form of money, and no, money's never worth it in the end. It doesn't fix your problems. You can, yeah, I know the meme of the, me unhappy in my $200,000 yacht, but the middle class though, middle class, working class, lower class, like chasing the money is just going to make you feel more empty. More than anything, I think it's just going to waste your time. You're going to lose years of your life and not even know it. I mean, the day goes by so fast already, unless you're at work. It goes by slow as hell, but then after you know it, 6 months pass, and now half the year's gone. And after you know it, after that, 6 years pass, and half your youth is gone. So that's all I want to say. Just add value. Keep the value in your youth, and the time in your youth is more important than any dollar amount ever, really. Even well over 6 figures, you can afford anything you want. If you don't have the time because you're constantly at work from 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. or 4 a.m. to 2 really just at work 8 hours a day, and you're so tired and exhausted, you come home and all you can do is sleep and you can't do anything or enjoy the things that you buy. And what's the point of even having any of it, right? So thanks for sticking around for my rant.